Press play and let the story begin. Welcome to Velvety Vibe. Unshakable. Then let me take you to a doctor. We'll go together. A faint smile touched his lips. I told you. It's nerves. It'll pass. Go, before you're late. How could I leave? How? I paced, desperate to help. Shadab? His eyelids fluttered. I rushed to him, pleading, "Let's go to the hospital, please." Sweat beaded on his forehead. Sweat was breaking across his forehead. With effort, he rasped, "Didn't I tell you to go home? Can't you see it's already dark out?" Despite everything, a tear slipped down my cheek. My man was in pain, and I couldn't even touch him. "At least let me call your brother," I whispered. A bitter smirk tugged at his mouth. "He's busy. I don't want to worry him." Then who was supposed to save him? Who? Trembling, I picked up the phone and dialed home. Mother answered. "Hello, Mom." "Hi, sweetheart. You're not home yet? Long day?" I drew a deep breath so my voice wouldn't shake. "Not yet. I just wanted to let you know I'll be late. Don't worry." But her tone immediately sharpened with concern. "Why? What happened?" I glanced at Diako, his head sinking back onto the desk. "Mr. Hatami's not well. No one else is here. I'm taking him to the hospital." Mother's voice rose, scandalized. "What business is that of yours? Where on earth are you going at this hour?" I turned my back, hand over the receiver. "Mom, he's in terrible pain. I can't just leave him alone and walk out." "Then call his family. I don't even know who this man is, and you're running off to a hospital with him?" "Please, Mama," I begged. "This isn't the time. Once he's better, I'll grab a cab home. I promise I'll be back soon." There was a pause, then, softer. "Which hospital? I'll come too." I knew there was no other way to calm her. "I don't know yet, but I'll call the moment we arrive, okay?" She sighed. "All right. Just be careful, Shadab. Call me right away." The moment the line went dead, I dialed for a taxi. Then I bent close to his ear. "Mr. Hatami, can you stand? The car will be here any minute. We're going to the hospital." Without lifting his head, he muttered, "I said no hospital, girl. I'm fine." I slid a shaking hand under his arm, over the sleeve of his shirt, so there was no skin contact. Still, my whole body trembled. I tried to steady him. He groaned, raised his head. His lips were cracked, those ugly dark circles deeper than before. Terror wrapped itself around me. My chin quivered. "Please get up," I whispered. "You're not okay." His dim eyes met mine. "Are you crying?" That did it. The tears poured freely. He braced his hand on the desk and pushed himself upright. "Come on, girl. It's just a stomachache. You think a man this big is gonna die from something like that?" I bit my lip hard to keep from sobbing. Just the thought of losing him was enough to kill me. Snatching up both our bags, I said, "Lean on me." He gave a weak chuckle. "No need, girl. I'm not so far gone I can't walk, and you're no Hercules to carry me anyway." But he was worse off than he let on. He shuffled to the taxi hunched over, and more than once I grabbed his arm, terrified he might collapse. Each time, his reassuring smile came with the same words, "Don't worry, I'm fine." I closed the car door and told the driver urgently, "Please, sir, hurry. He's not well." Through tear-blurred eyes, I watched the sweat beading on his pale face. I dug into my bag, pulled out a handkerchief, and dabbed his forehead. My lips pressed tight, stifling the sobs. How could I? Diako was dying. My man was dying. My hero was dying. When the car finally stopped, I wiped my tears quickly and opened my wallet. 30,000 tomans. God, please let it be enough. How much is it? I asked softly. 15. Relief flooded me. But before I could pay, his hand caught my wrist. He pulled 2 10,000 notes from his pocket and pressed them into my palm. "I've got it," I protested. I know, he said with a faint smile. Take it. Even like this, he was still thinking of me, still mindful of my situation. At the hospital, he wouldn't let me help him, but the moment he lay on the bed, he nearly passed out. When his eyes closed, my soul went with them. What's happening? What's wrong with him? I cried to the nurse. She didn't answer. 2 doctors rushed in, one older. He turned to me. What happened? I tried to keep my voice steady, but panic was strangling me, the sight of syringes and machines making me dizzy. His stomach hurts. He said it was nerves, but he was in so much pain. The older doctor nodded to have me taken outside. I begged to stay, but they pushed me out. I sank to my knees at the door, sobbing, chewing my lip bloody. Dear God, don't let anything happen to him. I'll die. I swear I'll die if he's gone. Please, just make him better. I don't want anything from you, not even him. Just let him live. Let him be healthy. Just let me see him sometimes. That's enough for me. Please, God. The door opened. I shot to my feet. The doctors stepped out. The older woman smiled gently. You're in worse shape than the patient, dear. I didn't dare look past her into the room. I was too afraid they'd already covered his face with a sheet. My voice trembled. Is he alive? The doctor chuckled kindly. Of course he's alive. Why wouldn't he be? Air returned to my lungs in a rush. Then what's wrong with him? Why is he like this? She laid a hand on my shoulder. Are you his sister? I shook my head. No, I'm his assistant. He fell ill at the office. Her gaze sharpened. You don't know if he's had stomach bleeding before? I wiped my face. No, he only said it was nerves. Her eyes narrowed. It looks like he's had a severe gastrointestinal bleed. We've stabilized him, but he'll need to be admitted. My knees nearly gave out. Admitted? She smiled again, more gently. Don't be afraid, dear. It's nothing fatal. Most likely he's had ulcers for a while. He hasn't been careful, and now this happened. If you have a family contact, call them to come. Otherwise, go to admissions and handle it yourself. I nodded. She squeezed my shoulder firmly. And toughen up a little. Nothing's happened that warrants falling apart like this. I promise you'll have him back safe and sound in a few days. Once more, the air felt hollow around me. I stumbled to the public phone and dialed home. Mother had pulled a yellow envelope from her bag and handed it to me. Here, dear, I got paid today for those last 3 dresses. Take it and put it in his account as a deposit. I pointed to Diaco's leather briefcase. Doesn't he have money in there? Mother bit her lip. What kind of thing is that to say? The poor boy's lying in a hospital bed. Would God be pleased if we rifled through his bag for money? She glanced at him through the window. Poor soul. Are you sure he doesn't have a mother? I shook my head. Just the one brother. And I think he's the reason Diaco's in this state, since they were together right up to the end. Mother sighed. What a fine young man. God help them. Look at what life has done to these kids. Their nerves are shot, their spirits broken, till their own bodies collapse on them. I fixed my eyes on Diaco's sleeping face. You think he'll be okay? She touched my arm. God willing. Now hurry and put the money in his account. Then come back. The room had 2 beds, but since it was empty, we were allowed to stay. I turned to her. You should go home. Shadi's there alone. Mother sank into a chair. No, darling. I can't just leave you here. But I wish you could find his brother somehow. It's a big responsibility for us. I stared at the IV dripping life, drop by drop into him. He doesn't have his cell on him. Probably left it at the office. And I don't have a number. How am I supposed to find him? She rubbed her hands together. I'm worried about Shadi too, but I can't bring myself to leave this boy here alone. I insisted. Please go, Mama. It's a hospital. He's safe here. Nothing's going to happen, I swear. She stood. No, sweetheart, I can't. I'll just call Shadi, see how she's doing. I hung my bag on the coat rack and sank into the chair beside his bed. The blue hospital gown made his face look even paler. I stared at the swollen vein on his hand where the cruel, heavy needle fed into him. My finger twitched forward, wanting to touch him, but I pulled back. His broad chest reminded me of the warmth of his embrace. No, not reminded, because I had never forgotten. His chest, his arms, the steady rise and fall of his breathing, the warmth of that breath I had tasted only once. With a sigh, I closed my eyes, forcing away those memories, and instead thought of Daniar. His life, full of dark stains and ugly rumors. The bitter gossip. The strange behavior that proved them all true. A sudden flare of hatred burned in my chest. Hatred for a man who could abandon his own brother, drive him to the brink of ruin. A man without a conscience, who not only failed to value Diaco's sacrifices, but ground him down further with all his strength. Hatred for Daniar Hatami. Daniar. I stretched my legs across the table and leaned back, watching Maida talking on the phone with her back to me. She wore a short, strappy dress, one strap loose, sliding down her arm. Her hazel hair spilled carelessly over her shoulders. My gaze drifted down to her black high-heeled sandals that made her legs look even longer. Annoyed with the endless call, I grabbed my phone and dialed Diaco's number for the third time. Nothing. No answer. For the first time in my life, Diako wasn't picking up. Diako didn't sulk. He didn't punish. He never ignored my calls, even when we fought. It wasn't the first time we'd argued. He always called back, always made peace. But today was different. Today he'd been angrier than ever, his face pale, his hands shoving me back by the collar. Today, I had burned him worse than ever. And today, he hadn't called. Today, he didn't even answer me. A weight of Metha sliding onto me pulled me out of my thoughts. She held a glass of red wine, all beauty and charm, lighting every nerve in my body. I kissed the bronze curve of her bare neck and stared at her. She laughed, stroking my arm. After the way you embarrassed me in front of the boss, with all that temper, I swore I wasn't coming back to you. She looped her arm around my neck, sipping more wine, then grinned, tipsy. But the truth is, for all your bad manners, you've got that charm, damn it. I can't stay away. My eyes followed the slip of her dress strap. I took the glass from her and pulled her closer. She smelled intoxicating, but a dark thought gnawed at the edge of my mind, keeping me from surrendering completely. I buried my face in her hair. Diako didn't sulk, didn't punish. Her hands roamed, raising my temperature. He stormed off, face red. I tugged at her dress strap, lowering it. He didn't answer the phone. My call. Me, Daniar. I pulled back, set the glass on the table. Better keep my head clear. What if he calls? I dragged her into the bedroom, tossing her onto the bed, staring at her seductive smile. But it's been nearly 3 hours now. Frustrated, I pressed my head into my hands. "What's wrong, Danny?" she whispered. "Something's happened. I know it." She sat up. "What are you talking about? What happened? To who?" I didn't answer. I stormed out of the apartment.